Hi, this is Charles Elliott. I'm a lawyer in Alexandria, Louisiana, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about how child support works in Louisiana. I know some of you are going to say, I don't have children, this doesn't affect me, but it can affect you. We have a lot of grandparents that are having to take care of children that are being paid child support. We have grandparents or relatives who have children placed in their home through protective services, and you also want to be able to give your children good advice. So let's just assume that you know or you're related to someone who is in a situation where they're getting divorced and there's going to be child support calculated. I work part-time for the district attorney and as an assistant district attorney, and part of what I do is child support collections. While I'm familiar with how things work, I don't practice this in my regular practice, so I'm not an expert. So please talk to a lawyer if you have any specific questions. But I just want to talk to you generally about how it works. It usually starts with a divorce case. And in the divorce case, the judge has the ability to issue an order of child support. And they'll be looking at the income that both parents have, the gross income, doing a calculation, looking at a schedule, and coming up with a number. The other way is you apply at the district attorney's office to have a department of the DCFS help you with your child support obligation, both establishing the amount and collecting it. And then there's some combination of some of these things where you get a civil judgment, you bring it to the state to try to help you collect it. So let's just start with the basics. If you look in this book, which is the Louisiana revised statutes, a section in there on calculating child support. There's a description how child support is calculated. In a general sense, it's just taking the income of both parents, figuring out what the ratio is, looking at which parent has custody of the child, and the other parent paying their part based on that calculation from numbers that are given to us by the legislature. If you look at this statute, you'll see that we take the gross income of both parents, we put it in a spreadsheet. We give credit if one of the parents pays things like health insurance, daycare, private schools, those sort of, or extraordinary medical expenses. And we figure out what the percentage is. Then we take that total income and go to another chart, and that tells me what the child support payment is for people who make that much money. And we calculate it that way. There's not a lot of discretion for the judge. There's not a lot of discretion for the parties. It's really just looking at what are your income, looking at some specific expenses, not all of your expenses, because we start with gross income. That means before taxes or any deductions. If you look at the statute, you look at these calculations, you can see how it works. So let's just say that your daughter got divorced. She's having problems with child support. She went through the divorce process, got an award of child support, but it's not being paid. And when you get behind, we call that arrears. So she can either get her lawyer to file a claim for contempt back in the court where she started, or she can take her judgment to the district attorney's office, and they will sit down with her and try to figure out how to get an award for the amount that's owed that's in arrears and then help collect going forward. And we used to use the term deadbeat dad, but it doesn't cover everything. We have a lot of women who get addicted to drugs who end up not having custody of the children. We have grandparents that are raising children who have custody orders. It's just not easy to call everybody a deadbeat dad anymore. The district attorney's office and the civil court have the ability to hold that person in contempt of court if they're not paying, if they're not current, put them in jail, usually up to 90 days. But the usual process is you get called into court to explain why you're not paying. Excuses aren't very well accepted. And the judge will put you on probation, give you a suspended 90-day sentence in jail. And if you continue to fail to pay, you will go to jail. I just wanted you to understand this is basically how it works. It's purely a mathematical calculation. Not a lot of discretion with the judge. If you have trouble collecting, either your lawyer can help you in your civil case or the state DCFS can help you collect through the state process. But if you come to child support court for the first time and an amount is established, we can't help you with your child's cell phone bill, some of these extraordinary expenses. If that's your problem, then you need to talk to the judge in the district court in a regular divorce custody type proceeding. If you come to the state to collect your judgment, we're just going to do the basic calculation and use the number that you got in your other case to collect. It's not a place to fix other things that you're finding out you're having problems with. You need to go back to the district court for that. And I know some of the things I said may sound a little harsh, but you have to understand that the state is there to help you collect your child support. And it's not that we're not sympathetic with you. It's not that we won't try to help you. The child support calculation is more like a business transaction and a business calculation where we're trying to help you get what's owed to you, but at the same time, we can't help you with all the other problems that you're having in your separation, divorce, custody. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions, please send them to me. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, I'll be glad to. And I hope you have a good week.